Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is another video on Q&A. Before I start this video, I would like to thank everyone who is supporting my content and giving me the feedback. One of the feedback was that I should keep making these videos also in English, so that's what I will be doing. Now disclaimer, I'm not an expert. All the answers I'm giving is from my experience. So please, if you decide anything, do your own research, take your own decisions. Generally, whenever I do advices, I generally do one-on-one session to understand the circumstances about the person, to understand their goals, and there's so many things. So please, my request to you is before you take any decision, do your own research. So let's start with our first question today. I'm just checking my phone for the questions. How to prepare or way to improve in front end to get into entry level roles, and DSA, is it really necessary? Okay, so there are two parts of this question. How to prepare, in fact three actually. How to prepare for entry level front end roles, way to improve, and is DSA is really necessary? So I will first answer about DSA. Uh, to be honest, it depends upon the kind of organization you are targeting. The way I divide the organizations, they are the top level, which is FANG level, then they are mid level, then there is your startups. Mid levels are like Flipkart, and startups, Now the thing is, all these companies, we know that the top companies, FANG, they are definitely gonna ask DSA. So if you really wanted to be in that top companies, you have to prepare for DSA. It's not about the entry level, it's about every level of your career. Now for the mid and startups, it depends upon their roles and their interview process. I have seen that the companies, if you have right skills for the experienced people, they are ready to let go of DSA round. But having said that, the kind of interview questions sometimes they gave, they are actually related to DSA or problem solving. So I would again say that when you are when you are talking to HR for any of the organization, ask them that what is the interview process, and if they say there will be 2 rounds or 1 round of DSA, my request to you is tell them that I'm not comfortable with DSA, so could you please tell me that how complex a question would be, or is there a way that I won't be ready for the DSA, so can we do web development rounds or something like that? For freshers, I afraid that you might get this opportunity that they can let go of DSA round. Like, I can speak for myself because I have very rich experience. I used to tell them that I'm not good in DSA, so what you would suggest? And they used to say, okay, no worries, just come and give the interview. But the problem solving they used to give, they are again DSA problems. So this is what I accepted, that I also cannot escape DSA round, so I started preparing for that. So yes, you have to prepare for DSA, and I would also suggest, do not look DSA as a interview clearing round. DSA actually help you in building your coding skills, your problem solving, your programming. You will get more and more confidence. So I would highly suggest you that go for DSA and prepare for it. Okay. Now moving to the second part, how to prepare. So because you are an entry level person, they are not gonna ask you a very difficult thing. They are gonna ask you the fundamentals. So if you are going for the front end role, do ask them that what are the skill sets they are looking for. Again, the companies, either they look for the fundamentals like HTML, CSS, JavaScript. They will ask you a little bit about the performance, just to understand, do you understand performance, responsiveness, accessibility, tooling perspective, build process, do you understand what it is, hosting an application server. But they won't be expecting that you have to go deep dive inside that. If the company is only looking for frameworks like React.js, Angular, Vue.js, then they are gonna ask the questions from there. So please expect the interview questions around the fundamentals. For example, explain promises. If you have to do two parallel API requests through promise, how you are gonna do that? What is the use of async await? They can ask you like higher order functions in JavaScript. In HTML, they can ask you about the semantic code. They can ask you about the forms attributes. In CSS, they can ask you to make animation. So these kind of questions can come to you. They will ask you to do machine round. What is machine round? It's a coding round. So they will give you a problem and they will ask you to do the live coding in front of them. So I would also suggest you that please get yourself hands on. Now again, if you are thinking VS Code, uh, I this is what I actually learned during my interview processes in big organizations, especially when I was preparing for DSA. That many companies like Google, Meta, Amazon, these they doesn't provide you Notepad or VS Code. They gave you a editor which has no highlighting, no syntax highlighting, nothing, and you have to it's just like a Word doc. So I also suggest that prepare yourself for this when you are doing coding practice. Do not rely a lot on the code editors. So the best thing is when you are doing a machine coding. Now I am just thinking about the example. So let's say create a form. On the submission of the form, a API request should go. So you have to write the code of that. You will get 40 to 60 minutes to do that. You have to ask the questions and do that. You can get the question like create a search by doing a API request, or create a listing part, or create a login registration part, or just create a carousel. Like these kind of questions you will get, and you have to code in front of them. Or you can just get given an array, find a largest or largest number, find two first and last highest number, like something like that. So these kind of machine rounds you will face. So you have to prepare fundamentals and machine rounds. These are the two things you can do. Fundamentals, read any your favorite resource for front end development. Like I would always say MDN, it's the best one place to go and read about the fundamentals. And second is machine round. For that you have to do a lot of practice. Now the your next is improve in front end. My friend, this is how you can improve. You have to practice, you have to build code. You need to sit on the interviews. Either you go and give mock interviews, or sit in the interviews, get reject, understand what are your which are your weakest areas, and re-prepare and reappear for the interviews. So this is how you can do it. I hope this was helpful. And please keep me posted that how the things are going. So let's go to the next question. Are front end jobs are dead for freshers? Should they look for full stack? Okay, this is a good question. Let's talk about this. um I won't say the front end jobs are dead for freshers. There are jobs. It just last year was very, not last year, 2023 was very bad for IT industry. So a lot of firing happened. uh, right now we are in December, and I can see a lot of firings are still happening. So hiring is zero or slow, and firing is in speed. So that's why there is a huge gap of employment, people who are looking for a job versus number of openings there. So that's why we see less number of jobs and more people who are looking for the job. So job seekers are higher as compared to number of jobs. So I won't say the jobs are dead for front end freshers, but there is a gap there, which is like every day it is increasing. But if you are a fresher and your second part is should they look for full stack, I would highly encourage you, please go and do it full stack. If you are a full stack, you can go for front end, you can go for back end, you can go for full stack, and your future self will be thankful for you for this. Now what I meant by that, once you start as a full stack developer, you know front end, you know back end, you will know what it takes to deliver a project end to end as compared to a front end developer. Like I will talk from my experience. I started my career as a front end developer. Now I am learning back end, cloud, and all that thing. If I have to restart my career, I will be starting as a full stack dev, because after a few years of experience as front end, industry expect, your company expect that you should be a full stack dev. So that's why I would highly recommend you right now, if you are searching for a job and you have time and you want to take a right path, go for full stack. Now for the full stack, if you will ask me, JavaScript, you can go for Node.js, you can go for DB for Mongo, you can pick any cloud service. When I say cloud, it means AWS, Azure, GCP, not Versal. Please go for AWS, GCP, or Azure, any of that. Pick that and start doing your learning. If you don't want to go to Node.js, then I would suggest you go for Java, Go, Rust, any of this, and pick your relation or non-relation DB, whatever you like, you go for that. But yes, I would say, because of my experience, if I have to restart my career, if today I have to, learn or restart my career, I will definitely go for full stack, because after 5 years, 4 years, the companies expect that you should know all these things. Plus you will be always in demand because you know both things, both part of the world. So you also will see that you can apply for the front end job, for the back end job, as well as for the full stack jobs. So I hope this would be helpful for you. Just keep me posted how it is going. I love to talk to people who keep me posted, and my DMs over Twitter, LinkedIn are full of people who come back to me and tell me, Neha, you remember we spoke, or you remember we met on Top Mate, or we did a one-on-one and you gave this advice and this is what happening. I love it. The reason is I also get to know that what the time I'm spending on making these videos is helping people. So please keep me posted. Okay, so let's go to next question. um, what is the biggest difference you found working abroad versus working in India? Okay, this is a question I keep getting a lot. I don't know in the past I covered this or not, so let me spend some time on this. Definitely, there are a lot of differences working in India versus working in the UK in terms of IT company. Now, I will start with pros. Uh, the good thing is we have very good work-life balance. I can speak for myself again. I don't know about others. It's been 2 years. My work-life balance is very good. Uh, there is no working weekend. I think hardly one or twice I work till 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. Otherwise, I never, and that was my choice to work. No one asked me to work, to be honest. So, and I never worked on weekends. I never work on public holidays. No one even bothered to ask, and no one even force or create the circumstances. I myself have witnessed in India, yeah, that manager don't ask you, but they create such circumstances that you have to work. Otherwise, the deadline will not meet. So this kind of thing is not here. So work life balance is very good. People are very professional. When I say professional, there is a very clear boundary between personal and professional life. They don't get in my personal space, like asking me, are you married, or do you have kids, uh, what car you drive, blah blah blah. They have no interest in that, unless and until you are telling them, oh, I was hanging out with my wife or husband, I went out with my partner over the weekend and all that. In India, this is the one thing I hated the most. The first conversation used to start, are you married or not, where you live, which car you drive. If they start judging you unconsciously by these things. So these things are not here. The third thing is related to the work. So no overcommitting. What it means, I can speak for myself. When I was in India, uh, I I used to have unconsciously that pressure that I have to say yes to everything. I have to say everything. Oh, this is just small story. S T-shirt size S. I can deliver it. But later on, it used to be a story which is crossing spill over to sprint. But this kind of thing is not here. People are very conscious about committing only the work which they can do. They are very clear that first do the research, understand, and then only commit. So that's a pretty good thing, I would say. Apart from that, there's no WhatsApp group. Thank God. I hate WhatsApp group of office people. uh, there's no WhatsApp group. So you are free. You have office communicator, just ping, just stay connected to that. Otherwise no one is gonna ask your phone number also. So that's a pretty good thing. Now, not everything is rosy, to be honest. The downside of this is the hikes are not so great as we used to get in India. Even our hikes, when we are changing the companies or hikes within the company, they are not great because the economy is very stable. So don't expect that you will be getting a huge double digit hike or very impressive hike. No, So your salaries are hikes are very low as compared to India. Even your promotions are not so easy like in India. I can say that in India you can very easily get the promotion. And please don't bash me on easily word, because I have been a EM, engineering manager. I have went through all the path of this, so I know the process and everything. So it's not like very hard. But here abroad, it's not easy to get the promotion. You have to literally go out of your league of leagues, and then only might be you will get the promotion. So that is also another part. um, you will not be motivated enough sometime, because everyone is working very calmly. This is what I felt when I was in India. There was like a competition, aggressive working. uh, People are aggressive here, but they are not so much aggressive that you have to keep running in corporate race. No, it's not like this. People come to office, they enjoy their work, and they accept that work is the part of their life. They have a life outside their work, so they love to discuss about hobbies, what you are doing on weekends, what you are doing after work. Sometimes, because I have worked more than 10 years in India, I have that genes, I would say, that I want aggressive working. But yeah, I also crib that why those so aggressive. I don't want to be so aggressive. So that's my problem. But yeah, these are the pros and cons. Overall, I am enjoying right now. If you wanted to know, the reason is I'm at that stage of my life where myself doesn't want to run in a corporate race. I want a stability. I seriously want a work life balance. So it's pretty good. People are very yeah, this is also one of the thing I found, which is very good. People are very approachable. When I say approachable in India, somewhere unconsciously it is always there, it's manager, senior person and all. It's not like this here. Anyone can say anything to anyone. So very open culture. And I think this is a cultural thing, because in we Indians we have that hierarchy thing, that if there is someone very superior to us, senior to us, we can't say anything to them. We have to just hear them and all that. It's not like here. Respectfully, they are not harsh, they are not rude. But I have seen that people are very open about their views. Initially I had this struggle. I was very, quiet. I was not expressing myself. But when I saw my co-workers, they are very expressive. They don't keep anything in their heart. They tell everything in town hall sessions, in our hands on everything. They used to just tell each and every harsh thing also to the CEOs, the founders, and all that. And I'm also trying to do that. And I actually did that. So that's also a very good thing. Yeah, yeah. These are the pros and cons. Yep, I don't know what exactly answer you were looking for, but if you wanted to know any specific question, I can help you. So just send me. Okay, so let's go to next question. I'm thinking about cloud computing. As a fresher student, do you think this is a good career, or I should move to traditional web development path? Oh, I love this question. So you are a fresher, and I'm happy that you are thinking about the cloud versus web development. Now I would say that if you're thinking about moving to cloud, this is a wonderful idea. The reason is the future is cloud computing. If you will see around, every organization is on cloud. They have so much job opportunities in the market, and you don't need to believe me. You can go on LinkedIn and search for it. But the problem will come, as a fresher, will you be able to make it to cloud jobs? So that's the problem. um, I'm not saying you won't be able to get it. You can get it. There are examples where people as fresher were able to get the job in cloud. So I'm not saying that you won't get it. But if you are going to compare it with web development, and because this is the feedback I keep getting also, that on the social media the noise around web development is so so loud that other domains get overshadowed. So you might face that only the web development is trending and in demand as compared to cloud, but which is not the truth. So you have to work on these negative thoughts, that even if you are picking cloud computing path, you might not get job as soon as the web developers are getting. the noise around that won't be as much as what the web developer domain is having. But if you are fine with that, I would say cloud computing is the very good choice. The reason is there are less noise, there are huge opportunities. Every company needs a cloud engineer. There are so many domains within the cloud engineering also that you will be amazed to see. So I would highly recommend you to go and do cloud computing if you can, if your circumstances can allow. When I say circumstances, it means how desperate you are right now for the job. Because for the web development, you might get 5 calls, but for the cloud, you hardly will get the 1 call. So it will depend upon you. Another thing is your interest area. Now you will feel that, Neha, I haven't done cloud, I haven't done web development. I just wanted to start, so I don't know where my interest lies. I agree with that. So I would suggest you first do cloud computing. Go on YouTube, watch few videos. They are wonderful content creator around cloud. When I started cloud, I was having zero idea what is cloud, why we are using cloud. I struggled a lot. So instead of spending hundred of lakhs of money on courses, what I did is I first started with YouTube. I try to understand that what is cloud, why we are using it, where it is fitting in. I spoke to people on Twitter. I try to find people who are already working in cloud just to understand and pick their brain. And then I went for certifications just to get the validation that I'm there. I won't say that I haven't spent money after that. I did. I actually enrolled myself into cloud computing course. It was not great. So I am not gonna recommend you that. Go for YouTube, go for Udemy courses, talk to people, go on LinkedIn, go on Twitter, find cloud engineers, talk to them, send them the message the way you have sent me, try to talk to them. But if you will ask me web development versus cloud computing, I would say for future, I would say go for cloud computing. Please go for cloud computing. As of now, also, you can see that right now the jobs are very low in the market. So this is the golden opportunity for you. This is the perfect time where you can keep web development aside and focus on cloud computing. Okay, I hope this was helpful for you. Keep me posted if you wanted to know more about cloud computing. Any questions you are having, just let me know. I can help you little bit what I know. Okay, let's go to the last question of today. Mm, if someone wants a job in tech, I mean, who is trying to switch roles to development domain, how much time will it take to get a job? And does project and portfolio stand out? Or is it other things that matter? Thank you so much for sharing your tips and educated around front end. Perfect. Just a second. Okay, so you didn't mention that from which domain you are moving, which is fine to be honest. But let's see. If someone wants to who's trying to switch roles to development domain, how much time it will take to get a job? Okay. Uh, this is actually I mentioned on Twitter also. I wish I can claim like an influencer that within 6 months you will get a job. 3 months you finish this course and you will be job ready. I'm sorry, it's not like this. The truth is, um, what is 3 months for you is not 3 months for me. What it means that might be you are able to understand end to end whole front end in 3 months, but for me I might not be able to finish or understand the whole end to end front end within 3 months. So there is no like perfect timeline, I would say. I would suggest you start learning front end development or development full stack. At least give your 6 to 8 months, because you have to start with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React.js. Then you will start building projects. You will feel frustrated. You need to also learn GitHub, how to use that. Then you also need to learn about hosting, performance, accessibility, responsiveness, SEO, and there are a lot of subtopics under that. Even if you will start planning to learn HTML, CSS, or JavaScript, it will take time. And then you have to pick a framework also, a library. So 3 months, I won't say that 3 months is an idle time. At least 6 to 8 months you have to give yourself. And once you have learned, you have to build projects. Now talking which you also ask, portfolio and projects. I won't say that it matters a lot, but because you are a fresher, having a good GitHub does matter. So instead of having traditional projects or portfolio like to-do list, Instagram clone and all that, I would recommend to have a less projects but good projects. So instead of making Netflix clone, you can think of creating small SaaS projects like online editor, or you are making end-to-end project where content creator can log in and create their courses, something like this, which can reflect your skills and you and keep you stand apart from the rest of the developers who are still making those to-do lists, Instagram clone, Netflix clone, Flipkart clone, all these things. Because to be honest, as a hiring manager, I used to be a hiring manager. uh, I never liked this. I have seen the people where they have cloned the code from Udemy and just put it in on their GitHub, and they have no idea what they have done. So portfolio and project will matter. If you are doing a good project and you don't have to do 8 or 10 or 5, one or two are good if they are complex and covering all the aspects what you have learned and you know all everything in and out. This will help you in shortlisting your resume. This will help you in having a conversation to showcase that you know what it takes to actually work on projects. So I would say please go ahead with that. Now, timings. So give yourself 6 to 8 months just to learn front end, and then please give yourself 6 months to, not, I won't say within 6 months you will get job, because market is not so great and it also depends upon your interview skills. If you think that you will finish a course in 6 to 8 months and then you create a two projects, but you are not able to give interviews, you are not able to clear interviews, my friend, no one can take the guarantee. So my request to you is, uh, study first, learn, build project, give mock interviews, and keep applying and keep giving interviews. Your LinkedIn also comes. So this is not like a linear path, but you have to keep changing your strategy as per the interviews you are giving, as per the opportunities coming to your way, as well as there is DSA also. So once you start giving interview, you will realize that you have to do DSA also. So I'm really sorry, but yeah, 6 to 8 months front end, then give yourself at least 6 months. In this 6 months, you need to start applying for the job. You need to give a mock interviews. You need to give prepare your LinkedIn profile. If you get the call, give your interview. If you get rejected, try to get the feedback, and in the next interview, try not to repeat that mistakes and give your best. Mock interviews are gonna help you to prepare. So if you will ask me, I would say it will take at least a year for you to prepare and get a job. Again, get a job, I'm not saying 100%. It will depend upon the calls, market, and your interview skills. Okay, I am not sure if this was the answer you are looking for, but this is the truth, my friend. If someone is taking guarantee for your job, just think twice, because uh, market is not great right now. You can go on LinkedIn jobs and you can search by yourself. One thing I can give you a tip here. When I was starting my career, what I did was, the first thing I did was I went on the job portal. I searched that I wanted to be a web designer. So I saw for the entry level what are the skills they are looking for. I made a list of that, put it in front of me, and I used to, one by one, finishing all those things and putting a tick mark. Once I was done with that, then what I was doing is, like for example, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. I At that time mock interview was not there. So what I used to do is I used to do FAQs, that what kind of questions people can ask, and I used to have flashcard for that, and I was always prepared for. I always used to revise them. Then I started working on my side projects. They call it side projects now, but those were the projects which I was telling you. I actually did three projects for myself. One was a freelancing project I got from a friend, and two were my own work I did. I put it on my resume, and when I used to reach out to the recruiters, obviously they don't want to hire fresher people. So I used to tell them that these are the projects I worked, and I don't used to say I'm a fresher. So I used to say, oh, these are the three projects I have done. These are the links, and I know these, this, and that list which I kept in front of me, I was doing tick mark. Okay, I know HTML I have done with, CSS I'm done with, JavaScript I'm done with this, and then after doing all this, my the first milestone was to get an interview call and go for interview, because I never gave an interview in my life, and there was no YouTube to know that how interviews happen. So I that was my first milestone. I went for my interview. I got failed because they asked me to do machine round. On the machine, I have to do and do some designing and coding, and I didn't knew that the the professional way of doing the designing, because I was learning as a student. So I learned from there that these are the mistakes. Then that I started working on those skills where I failed, and I again get an interview call. I went there. I did my best. I didn't got the job. Then I got third call, fourth call, and finally I think it was my, I don't remember to be honest, but I gave a lot of interviews, and then finally I got a job where I was perfect. They asked me about HTML, they asked me about CSS, they asked me to do the coding, they asked me to do JavaScript part, and I did that and I got the job. So it will depend upon your skills also, how fast you are learning once you have rejected from an interview. And the reason I'm telling you this story, because I was also at the same place, and what I did was I looked for what the company is looking for from freshers, put that list in front of me, and making sure that I'm trying to tick the most important part of that. You don't need to match all 10 out of 10, but if you are able to meet at least 50 to 60%, you will be good, my friend. So once you are done with your learning and your project, keep your milestone that you should be able to sit at least for one interview, so that you can validate your knowledge. And once you are done with that, then go for second, then go for third, then go for fourth. Okay, I hope this was helpful for you. Just keep me posted, and thank you so much. These were the only questions I was having today. These were the 5 questions I took today. So thank you so much for giving me your time. Take care. Bye.